That's a tough question, because like there definitely needs a lot more to be done.
You probably wouldn't talk to your mother like that if you are like yelling at random women and online. So like just think about what you say a little bit.
Gaming has brought people together from around the world, but there's still work to be done. In this series, we give a voice to those in the space that face unique challenges. This is the Roundtable, presented by TD.
So my name is Samantha. I am currently working at Hyper Hippo Entertainment as a product marketing manager there. I've been in the gaming industry for like, I think 5 to 6 years now at this point. I started off in collegiate esports, running Overwatch tournaments and kind of LAN events, and then I moved into Overwatch tournaments with Blizzard Entertainment at their collegiate program. And then I was also working in the manufacturer gaming side. And then I worked with the Canucks last year on their esports teams as a content coordinator. I kind of stumbled upon gaming. I was a gamer since I was a little kid. I was actually trying to study to become a doctor in school, studying for my MCAT test to go into pre-med, and then that didn't go so well. So I went into business and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. My school that I went to was having, there was a club that basically did LAN events every semester, and then it just kind of spiraled from there, and that's how I got involved with like Test Plus Collegiate program. That's how I kind of started meeting like so many people in the gaming industry, and kind of realizing at that point, it's like, oh, like I can do this for a living, right? I usually played with like my friends, and I guess just in general, like even in Overwatch when I started playing that game, like I definitely did not do any solo queue because it would just be really bad. Like I think there was one instance where it's like, oh, like you're a girl, like I'm quitting. Like they literally quit the queue immediately because they figured out it was a girl. For me, I feel like I have something to prove always, especially just because it is the gaming industry and because it is male dominated. I feel like I always have to put in 200%, and if I don't, I feel like I failed at what I do. Our male counterparts, like they can just, like sometimes I feel like they can just kind of do what needs to be done, and then they're like, oh yeah, like everything's fine, but it feels like we always have something to prove. Overwatch, surprisingly no, just because like it was still fun, and like I think it was still when I still played it like frequently, I was still in the stage of like everyone is still trying to figure out what the hell like Overwatch is and like how to play each character. League was definitely the one where I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to play this game anymore, which sucked because like it was fun and I enjoyed watching LCS. I've heard much worse stories than what I've been through. Like there was like this one story where I'm not gonna obviously name names or whatnot or whoever this is, but they basically were playing by themselves and everything, and their whole team was basically telling them like, you know, why are you playing this game? You're a girl, go back to the kitchen. Like, you know, all the things you can kind of come up with is a terrible thing to say to a girl just because she's playing a video game. So, and it sucks because it's like, they just want to play games. Like, there's always gonna be people that like suck, like that make those comments like that say, oh yeah, no, women don't belong here, or like women shouldn't be if they're that soft, quote unquote, right?
There's always like select people who kind of like speak out or like target women if they're on their teams and like say they like mess something up. They're always like more harsh towards them, and I don't know, I always found it really weird.
I'm not a girl, so it's kind of hard for me to like. I can't say for like personal experience. Like everyone gets flamed at some point of their like life, but I feel like for women it's like way more targeted. You know, there's like the weird creeps who are like, I'm not playing with a girl. They all that for
and like the insults are the insults are always different. It's never like the same insults you would give to someone who like is just like some random person on your team you have no idea about. It's always just like targeted towards the fact that they're a woman for whatever reason. It makes no sense.
We want to make the space more accessible to women and also they're more comfortable to go in, right? Because like, see, the space has gotten better like over the years, don't get me wrong, but there's still so much work that needs to be done. That's a tough question because like there definitely needs a lot more to be done. Like you said, Masa, everyone gets flamed once in a while, right? Because of like, you know, whatnot, but especially if it's like a girl and they're getting flamed super hard just because they're a girl, then why not be like, hey, play the game, like show why you're better, and then that's it. I think just the general acceptance of like there are going to be females like in the gaming space, I think is needed, because for some reason they can't fathom that there is a girl that is in gaming. A lot of the time for females, it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of scenarios. So what I mean by that is like, let's say I want to start streaming, right? Like let's kind of give that, because that's a massive topic right now. If I want to start streaming, if you're even wearing something like that's kind of, that's showing like what a female has or what a person has, it's like, oh, you're just literally streaming because to show off your body and to get like, all the guys and whatnot, right? But that's not the case. Like, but if you're not wearing anything or like, and you're good at the game, people are gonna basically go like, oh, like you have to show like what you have and whatnot, or like you're not gonna be successful because you're not this type, right? Which shouldn't be the case. Like there should be like a wide range of people, and you should be able to feel comfortable without having someone in the chat basically go like, or even harass you to the point where, I think I've heard some horror stories where like female Twitch streamers like basically get stalked. Like I said, like I acknowledge like the space has gotten better over the years. Like example, you guys like saying like, oh, that's just weird. Why the hell would they be like targeted towards like your gender and not like how you play? Or like it still is like scary in the back of my mind because of some of the comments that have been like that females have been getting. Just there's a girl streaming, like I think she was playing Valorant, and one of the guys that was in her team was like griefing because she was a female, and then they would also kind of telling the girl that he'd find her and then rape her family and all of this stuff, and I'm just like, but why? Just because she's a woman and she plays video games? Like there's that danger there, which I don't understand why like that happens. So well, the past couple times that I've only streamed twice, and the reason why I stream is literally for charity events. Yeah. Like and even the first time when I streamed, I didn't show my face because there is that hesitancy of like, I'd rather not have to show my face. And then the second time I streamed, I decided to kind of go for it just because I do want to, I was kind of that need of like, I want to help out with this charity event, and it also, the charity goes to like an amazing like organization that does help women in gaming. So I was like, this is kind of perfect. And I was streaming with friends too, so that made me comfortable, right? Like what kind of keeps me in that space is that I have a lot of like support system with me that are also women that do want to see each other like being lifted up and whatnot. So
when you guys go live, like do you ever have that like split second of like, oh, if I go live, like I wonder what happens next?
I think a lot of times when I turn on my stream, I don't always push myself to interact with my viewers or people typing in my chat, because a lot of times what people say, or like it's kind of like the negative things that people say kind of weigh a lot more than like even just like the neutral or like positive things. So like even if there's one person trolling you and saying something about the fact that like, oh, we're not successful this season, it kind of like you read it and you kind of just have that feeling about, or like it feels worse reading that than it does reading all like the just basic questions or just like basic comments. It's
definitely like as Pyre said, the negative comments like way more, like they pack more punch than the positive ones. Like, okay, you guys did great, or hey, chin up, you're gonna do great. Comments.
It's gonna demotivate you from like paying attention to the rest of the chat. Like
exactly. Like it's not gonna like demotivate you from
it doesn't
playing,
like
but it just
it
makes
doesn't
you
make
like
me
less
depressed. But it's just like
you just don't wanna like pay attention to the chat anymore after that. But I heard like there's actually like stalkers, like people sending like, well, not anthrax, but like weird like other people's like doors and like stalking them. Like we don't have that, even though we got like scared like season 1 and 2 of Overwatch League. They were like really strict, like don't tell where you live and stuff like that. But I still never had like even the thought of like, hey, maybe like someone would be crazy enough to do something like that,
Talk to your female friends. Like ask them like how, like what have they experienced in the space, like as someone who, if they play games, like what have they experienced, like have they been out of it completely, or like or if like you see there is someone, like there is a girl that's like playing solo queue or anything like that, and like someone is like I was like trolling her, but like because she's a female, stand up for her, just be like, hey, can you like knock it off and just play the game? Like I don't know, it's that simple. Like it's not hard to be a decent human.
Games are, at the end of the day, they're meant for fun. If you're just like desk slamming and breaking your keyboard and mouse and yelling at people, like at the end of the day, that's not really fun. Like go touch grass and you probably wouldn't talk to your mother like that if you are like, yelling at random women and online. So like just think about what you say a little bit before it comes out of your mouth. It's pretty simple at the end of the day.
There shouldn't be any reason that if someone is getting like harassed in game for being just a woman, that you shouldn't speak up, because at the end of the day, like, not only is it just wrong and like a weird thing to do, but it also takes away from like everyone else's experience in the game. And to top it off, if anyone does this to women, go touch some grass. I'm done here.